I'm Catherine. I used to live in Sydney, now I'm in Singleton, New South Wales. This is not your average testimony. Most people start out heavily into sin. I didn't. I grew up in a Catholic family on my mother's side, and my dad, he was a bit of a New Ager Hindu. Yeah, he liked Hindu kind of stuff. He probably would have liked Pockets of the Future channel. It's a great channel. It's not the best though. I'll be going through channels through this video mentioning stuff, yeah, because I've been a YouTuber a lot, so I will go through some stuff, go through some channels that you should watch through this testimony, and I will be reading off the screen, so it might be a bit weird. I'm not exactly sure when I gave my life to Jesus and became properly born again, because things have been moving me slowly closer to God. It's not really a sudden thing like for some people. I think it was about 7 when I started on my journey to become a proper Christian. I went to, I assume, a Catholic woman's house when I was briefly living in Adelaide, and watched a video about how to get to heaven and who gets in and who goes to hell. I'm not sure if that video was suitable for children. But it had a daughter finding out that her mother couldn't get into heaven because she wasn't good enough or something. It was ages ago. I don't remember it. I don't know if it was brainwashing or not. That's when I took things seriously with God for the first time. I may have been properly born again at that point. I'm not really sure. Then I went through life up until my late teens, not really being your average Christian and going to church all the time. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really go to church then, for my youth, I guess, but I still had a basic moral compass, where I would at least consider other people to a small extent. Then something on TV made me worry about where I would go when I die. I think it was The Simpsons. The Simpsons having an existential crisis or something. So I joined the Anglican church up the road in Northside because my mother had become an Anglican by then. I'm not sure when she did that. She went from Catholicism to Anglicanism. Yeah, this is slightly better. Slightly. Anyways, a woman called Marie helped me to understand what becoming a Christian was, and I studied with her for a bit, and I reached my second stage of my journey. I would try and go to church every week, except if there was a big event on, like Supernova, or my friends were going to a movie or something. Speaking of Supernova, that is Australia's biggest pop culture convention. Yes, I am a nerd / geek, that type of person, yeah. And it's around this point in my story that I became a geek, particularly into Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, and games like Final Fantasy and Elder Scrolls. This testimony is going to be mild. not your average testimony. I see a lot of people, they come from like drugs and alcohol and hip hop and new age, all that kind of stuff. Witchcraft. I mean, like I was into Sabrina the Teenage Witch, so yeah, I did like witchcraft at one point. So, yeah, I mean, I guess everybody kind of gets sucked into that at some point. So, yeah. So I did nerdy things like cosplaying, making podcasts called the Wailing Fangirl podcast. I wrote fan fiction and just getting way too deep into fandoms. Getting deeply invested into David Tennant, his Ted Doctor, anything he's done, plus any other hot guys from TV shows and movies that I like. So yeah, usually Scottish guys, and now I'm getting into Irish guys. But anyways, the nerdy scene, so to speak, is quite left wing. I was finding it difficult to connect to my friends who are into gay porn. So yeah, or yaoi, which is the Japanese version of that. So I was also into anime a bit. I couldn't really get into the Jack Yanto slash thing from Torchwood. Anyways, yeah, Adrift from Torchwood. If you're a Christian, just don't watch it. Just don't even watch Torchwood, anyways. Not very much good stuff coming to the BBC these days. Anyways, I knew homosexuality wasn't good, so I just ignored it or turned away from it when watching anything with that in it. So yeah, I was a bit of a fangirl. I tried to keep my Christianity at the same time. I was doing okay with that, but God had a bigger purpose for my life. So, he brought me into a serious 5 years of learning the truth about the world, as well as myself, and connecting more to him from the year of about 2013. 2013 was the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, and I wanted to go live in the UK where the celebrations would probably be the biggest. So I packed up my stuff and went to the US first, because there was a convention called Gallifrey there that was on, and then I went to probably the most simple places in the US, Las Vegas, Disney World, and New York. Surprisingly, my stay in New York wasn't too bad. It was actually pretty good. Yeah. Might talk about that later at some point. I don't know. Just surprising that New York completely I didn't expect to be as good as it was. But New York, yeah, really not that good. Morally, I guess, at the moment. Like, yeah. But anyways, so after I went to places in the US, I went to Cardiff. So I'm a Doctor Who. And I waited in a backpackers and bed and breakfasts or guest houses to get my rental flight in Tonguin Lace. Say it? It's not Tonguin Lace. It is Tonguin Lace. Yeah. It's not Tonguin Lace. It's Tonguin Lice. But anyways, yes, I know a bit of both. Anyway, not exactly sure what it means, but yeah. I could have gotten a place in Cardiff City more quicker, but I wanted to live near Castle. So I'm like, Castle! Anyways, that had been used in Doctor Who and Merlin. It was Castle Cork. Castle Cork. Yeah. It's also been used for the Worst Witch. The older version. The like 90s I think version of it. The old TV show. But anyways, so yeah, I like filming locations. I've been to some filming locations. Didn't see any filming though. But yeah, I'll get to that. So while I was waiting for that place, I met a guy called Simon. Seemed nice enough, and he was helping me set myself up in my flat. It turned out he's a gaslighting narcissist. Great fun. Anyways, he wanted a free lunch. He owed and took some of my money and never gave it back. That's it. At one point I ended up with like £2 or £3 on my person, and I went to the pub, paid for some nuts, I think it was, and so I felt like I could legitimately use the internet to move money across from Australian bank account to UK bank account. Yeah. It just happened once, but I thought I'd throw that in there. He also completely drained me of my physical and spiritual energy. After I realised that, his stories weren't making sense, I kicked him out of my flat. Took a lot to get rid of him. I ended up screaming, as I've done sometimes, to make him realise I've had enough. Then he was gone, and I was very alone, depressed, and hungry, and I was stress eating. I had hunger, and it never went away. I just kept eating. I didn't really get too fat, but I wasn't happy that I couldn't control myself. At this point, I realised that nobody really properly cared about me. There's a guy called William in Scotland who cares about me, but he's too far away then and on the other side of the world now. Seems to be there's a few people who helped me at the time. William's one of them. So, all my Facebook friends in Australia hardly cared about me. My family didn't care. And most importantly, my mother didn't care. I figured that out when I was at the hairdresser and I suddenly ugly cried and let out so much emotion. I kept randomly crying about it, sometimes later on as well. So I do what most people do when TV is crap and you have the internet and you're depressed. I watched Illuminati videos! Yes. I watched a lot of stuff from all over the place. I mainly watched a lot of TVC Mario and Freeman Fly. Which I guess those two were more positive channels at the time, and I still stick with them today. They're pretty good. But when you start becoming a truther, you find a lot of fear-based channels that make you think the government is all powerful and you're basically powerless. Then there's all this satanic music videos and crap that you end up watching to research in the early days of finding out this stuff. And also there was a woman renovating her flat above me for several weeks. Pretty annoying. And I ended up like the women in that recent On Point Preparedness video. If you've seen it, I was acting insane and saying all sorts of stuff, all sorts of crazy stuff. Might go into it later, I don't know. So if you want to know what that's like, just watch Demonic Spirits Overtaking Truthers video by On Point Preparedness, and watch that. That was me 5 years ago. I feel sympathetic for those people. It's a pretty bad place to be in, to be honest. My brain was screwed. The truther industrial complex had ruined me. That time was the most spiritually dark time I've ever had. I was having hallucinations. I saw a Red Bull, not like the can of Red Bull. It wasn't a drink. It was an actual Red Bull that appeared and disappeared in my flat. I wasn't even using drugs. Just so freaking depressed. Just in a dark place. And when I went to hospital, my vision seemed kind of dark. And soap dispensers look scary. Yeah, they kind of look like dragons. It happened. Yeah, but soon after I was taken off by hospital staff, things lightened up and got better within a matter of hours. But yeah, I ended up in a Welsh mental institution. That was interesting. It was an easier time for me as I could actually talk to people face to face. I wasn't as stressed out then. People helped me and I got to a point where I wasn't insane. I could actually discern reality better. Singing Katy Perry's Dark Horse. I thought that was a good song because the gross one said it was. He lied. Jonathan Kleck's already called him out on his crap, so, you know. He's obviously a shit. So after failing to see any Doctor Who filming and feeling like a loser, I decided it was best to go back to Australia to my mother's house. Yes, she didn't love me, but she was all I had at the time. Over the next few years, I would go back and forth between how I felt about her. That's how getting out of narcissism works. You slowly realize who these people are and you go backwards and forwards until you don't really go back to them anymore. And then you might go no contact, so. Yeah, check out some narcissism channels if you want to know about that. I moved into my high school friend's house nearby. His name's Brendan. It's not the same Brendan that I will be talking about a lot. A bit of a Brendan fangirl. Brendan O'Connell. But this is different Brendan. So Brendan with an A. And his family, they got into they let me into their house, live there. I was friends with Brendan at school, and they're not awake. They're way too hooked into the mainstream. And after I had an argument with Brendan's mother about my mother and single parents, I just didn't want to be there. I just decided to leave. I wanted to leave fast, and I still want to be close to Sydney. So I was living in North Ryde, pretty much most of my life lived in North Ryde. Yeah, but too expensive. People there are all about climbing the corporate ladder, I guess. And now they don't have a train station at the moment, so oh well. It's good that I'm not there now. Yeah. The train station's just off for a bit while they get the northwest train link set up. Yep. So it doesn't matter. I'm in Singleton now. So I wanted to. So yeah, after that argument with Brendan's mother, I wanted to leave fast, and I still want to be close to Sydney. So I ended up in Gosford. Don't go there, just don't. I was very alone in Gosford as well. My Sydney friends couldn't be bothered to visit me. Once again, just like in Cardiff. Sat alone in my house eating, watching YouTube videos. And I was researching what was going on, how to get myself out of the situation. In Gosford, I had a couple of detours, moving away from normal Protestantism and into a couple of works-based religions. The first one was Messianic Christianity, where you would make an attempt to follow all the laws of the Torah. I found now CTV and 119 Ministries that don't support Israel, because I wasn't going to support Israel, because I support Palestine. What's going on in Palestine is atrocious. It's an open-air prison. It needs to end. Absolutely serious about that. Do everything I can to end that open-air prison. Yeah, I'll be talking about that later. These Nearly CTV and 119 Ministries taught me a lot about the Bible and about things that we really shouldn't be doing, like Christmas and Easter. And Rob Skiver, the Flat Earth shill, pushes a false AE map, convinced me that we were supposed to follow the Torah. It's all twisting what Paul said in the New Testament. Rashid Dossett, who I'll mention later, got me out of it by helping me to realise that when Jesus said, "If you love me, follow my commands," he meant follow his personal commands. And you only get those if you're in communication with them. God has told me that I am to stay mostly in the Hunter region of New South Wales, not have boyfriends, obviously that means I can't marry, and keep to a kosher diet. Which means I can't eat prawns, I can't eat takoyaki. Yeah, I used to like a lot of Asian stuff, prawns. I can give up bacon, that's not too hard. But yeah, prawns. But anyways, I'm okay with that. I can understand now why that would be specifically for me. Particularly for my health, I guess. I have a problem with guys, so obviously, yeah, it's a good idea. It's not for everybody, and they might, and these commands that God has for me might not be for all time. God may change his mind on things. But for the time being, these are God's personal commands to me, and I must follow them. So I'm not really a law keeper anymore. I consider myself Torah considerate, and I believe James and Leah are like that as well. We consider the traditions of the Torah like feast days and the real Hebrew names for everything, without saying that you have to do them. And the other false Christian group that I briefly got into was with Voice in the Desert and the Luke 14:33 cult. I didn't meet anyone from that cult. It's because they wouldn't put in the effort to come to my flat in Gosford. Stuff every day. Anyways, I guess God was protecting me from them by not letting them come to my house, because they could have made me sell all my possessions and live on the streets. Just because of a line in Luke 14:33. And it says in Luke 14:33, so likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. That verse has been misinterpreted. I'm not willing to go into it all right now. I want to get this out there. But I realise that God wants us to have blessings, so we can have his house and stuff, but we can't go overboard and have too much like mega pastors living in mansions, having G6 planes. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm out of that as well now. I've almost given up on going to churches, meeting other Christians there. I'll try a couple of churches in Singleton and see what it's like. But I'd rather hang out with at least truther Christians who are willing to cut out the obvious, like Christmas and Easter. Come on, they're pagan. Can't do them. No, they're fun, but you can't do them. Even after all this soul searching and figuring out correct Christian doctrine, I still had problems with my health. I found out that my ill health was linked to, first of all, RSI, which is previous stress injury, in my arm. I actually found that out when I was in Cardiff, but it was still a problem. And I realised that I had a lot of problems, ranging from being codependent to being angry at men. Though I wasn't going to become a feminist, I was still very pissed off at men. A lot of the men in my life have treated me like crap. At least in my dad's case, he was too ignorant to teach me what guys can be like. My brother confirmed that, yeah, people in my family treated me like crap. He confirmed that when I visited him recently. But I'm not going to visit him anymore because he's like, maybe if he rings me, but he doesn't seem to care. It's just, oh well. My brother said that in our family I got the worst of it. Now, I don't hate men, but though I'm a conservative, I can understand where feminists are coming from sometimes. Narcissism channels helped me to figure out why I couldn't do anything, and why I felt so depressed. I was holding on to too many things, and mainly too many people. I already stopped watching Game of Thrones. It has a lot of filth. And just negative crap no one needs to see. Doctor Who has become brave and courageous, if you know what I mean. I stopped watching that, and nobody was really making any good TV shows and movies anymore. Everything's going aggressively left wing. What's the point? So I was already cutting out a lot of things in my life. But God helped me to realise that I needed to cut out people. People who didn't even care about me, wouldn't make the effort to go to Gosford. And even just thinking they might do that someday was detrimental. I had to completely cut them out of my life and go no contact if necessary. God helped me to find the videos to help me do this. One channel I found that was an absolute godsend, Ari Dossett. Great channel. Check out Ari Dossett, Rashid Dossett, do it. Just go to his channel. He's good, like, you need to just go there now. Rashid Dossett completely lays out how the spiritual realm works. and what's really going on the other side, so to speak. I cut out a lot of people. I cut out my mother with no contact. Pure evil narcissist. Cut out my family because they hadn't really done much for me. They completely ignored what my mother was doing to me. I ripped up my birthday cards. They're nothing to me now. I don't care. One of my friends from church, what are they doing? I'm here alone, depressed, don't visit me. They call themselves Christian, they're gone. I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of this crap. I'm cutting out people left, right, and centre like Brendan O'Connell. Another great channel. If you know him, which you should, check out his channel. Operation Talpiot. One of the most important subjects at the moment, if not the most important subject at the moment, apart from spiritual warfare. And those are the two subjects I will be talking about mostly on my channel. Just so you know. Brendan O'Connell, I can fully understand this. Cuts out anyone becomes the slightest limit to hang out. Yeah, I completely understand. A limited hangout is someone who will hold back on any truthful information. Doesn't mean they have to lie, they just hold back. That's how I feel about most of my friends. They're holding back. Too bad, you're gone. I don't care anymore. I want real friends, and God wants me to have real friends who will actually hang out with me and can be relied upon in a crisis. I've got 27 friends on my Facebook. I can get rid of them all. Yeah, I've been culling a lot. Didn't really have that many to start with. More like, maybe my highest like 250. I don't know, 200. I don't know. Wasn't that much. Doesn't matter. The amount of friends you have doesn't matter. It's quality of friends. Quality, not quantity. Yep. Best thing that God has taught me is to figure out who your real friends are. God will help me to find better friends in the countryside. Everybody knows the people here in Singleton, everything. Fresh air, quite literally. Anyways, things are looking better, and that's all down to God or Yahweh, as I've been told to call him by Awake Souls and Limitless Channel, Jason and Ronnie. It's the actual name. Some people call me Yeshua. Maybe. I'm not going to be legalist about God's name or Jesus' name. You can say it. I think you can say it. I think you can say it however you want. Yeah. Yahweh for God, and the Most High Yah through his son Yahushai, Jesus, has helped me to has finally helped me to escape from obsessive fangirling and covert narcissism. So yeah, I'm coming up on about half an hour. Yeah. That's my testimony, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos on my channel. Finally getting out there and making videos. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for listening. Bye.